What's up, guys? So, day 6, I believe. Yeah, day 6. All right, so what did I do today? Before I even go into that, if you guys don't know what these videos are about, it's basically about my QLA process. Basically, I'm buying businesses using bank loans, and the plan is to buy a bunch of businesses, put it into a portfolio, and exit either via IPO or as a strategic sale to strategic buyer. So build a company, sell it, basically. And right now, so far, my process, I have a team behind me. I have a board of directors. There's about 6 people on the team, including me, 7. And we're looking for accounting firms and law firms to work with us because whenever you buy businesses, they shit fees, basically. There's a ton of fees. Basically, the accountants and lawyers are going to have to do a lot of work for you to complete the transaction. Anyways, today's day 6 of me documenting. And today, I basically look at my weekly goals and I base my daily actions based off my weekly goals. So, yeah. So since I'm working on the accountants and lawyers, I'm trying to work on the accountants first. And guys, I suck at list building. Not necessarily that I can't do it. It just takes me so long to do it compared to someone else that's way better than me. Like, they do it way faster than me. So if you watched yesterday's video, I was talking about how I paid someone to make a list for me, and based off of how good the list was, I might have asked them to do different lists, like the lawyers, top 100 lawyers in Dallas, top 100 accounting firms in Dallas, and then even potentially a mentor list. So I'm going to make like a list of names that I would want to reach out to. I wouldn't directly say like mentorship, but I would try to take them out for a lunch or something like that and get to know them, something like that. But I have to make a list of names. And today, while I was building the list of accountants, the guy texted me, or he messaged me back with a list of law firms. And this list was like extensive, and he gave it to me like the next day. I was looking at it. It had like company name, it had like LinkedIn profile for managing partners. It had their emails, their phone numbers, their address. It had the whole thing. And I was looking at it. It wasn't the top 100 in Dallas. So I messaged him, and I acted kind of pissed off because I did tell him top 100, and I was kind of mad because he's wasting my time. I don't want to spend days and days trying to fix these lists. Like, it's such a waste of time. So I got mad, and I was telling him, hey, look, give me the top 100 accounting firms in Dallas. And he told me he could give it back to me in 12 hours. So tomorrow I'm going to have a list of 100, and I'm going to email all of them tomorrow. That's the plan. Maybe add them on LinkedIn. And if I don't get responses, I might just start hitting some cold calls because I'm gonna have the phone numbers. But yeah, part of me is worried that they're gonna be way too expensive. But part of the QLA process does suggest to go for the top accounting firms. There's multiple reasons why. The accounting firms could really build your connections because all the top business people, all the biggest businesses are working with these accounting firms. So if you want to get connected, no matter where you are in the whole world, because they're the biggest accounting firms, you're well connected within the world. Anyone you want to get in contact with, they got your back usually. Whether it's the accounting side or the law side, both of them do that for you. So, and also, if anything happens throughout the due diligence process, whenever you're buying a business and the numbers that you relied on to give a price, comes out wrong, instead of making $1 profit, or instead of making like $100,000 profit, they make like 2,000, right? It totally messed you up. You could fall back on these big accounting firms. They have insurance, and you can make a big deal out of it. So there are benefits to working with a big accounting firm. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to bore you guys. Anyways, the plan right now is to contact these accounting firms. But what did I do today? I was basically working on the accounting firm list, and I noticed it was such a waste of my time. I paid this guy $20, and he gave me like solid work. So I was like, man, the time I'm spending making these lists, I could have been out making that money instead of sitting here just like looking at them. I really didn't benefit trying to like look at these things and contact them myself. That was a huge waste of time. I wasted like a good day or two on that, to be honest. And once he hit back the list and I told him to make me an accounting list, I basically decided like, man, I'm wasting my time. Let me go out and make money while this is getting taken care of. So, yeah, basically did some Uber. Today was easy to make money. There was a lot of events today, and I met some interesting people. So, did you guys know that welders, the people who like they have the mask and they like put the metal together, the welders, they make $4,000 a week. Did you know that? That's crazy. That is crazy. I met this other guy who works for PepsiCo, and he was talking to me all about it, and it was a super interesting conversation. First of all, apparently the people that work at that company, the company pays very well, and they end up retiring at 55 years old, which is like crazy. The guy was 55 and he was like on his way out. And I was asking him, I was like, man, what are you going to do when you retire? And he was like, man, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure it out. And then one of the things he said was like, I might just, do a simple job, go work at Home Depot. I was like, why would you want to go from that job to working at Home Depot? I was like, okay, but like, can you work at that company past 55? And he was like, yeah, but it's stressful, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, you ever thought about making your own business? He was like, no, like, he gave me like this answer, and I kind of like tried to pry into it, and he like never thought about it ever. And I was like, if you did ever like think about it, what were some ideas you had? And it's just the basic answer, like real estate, flip houses. That's the basic one, man. Like in the past video, I think yesterday or the day before's video, I was talking to a drug dealer, and he was telling me like, yeah, man, I'm gonna take my drug money and I'm gonna funnel it into flipping houses. That's like entrepreneurship 101. Flipping houses, no money down, flipping, buying. It's entrepreneurship 101. Not trying to discount it or in any way, but everyone tries to do that. There's a reason why there's a market for it, but like I think there's better ideas out there, blah blah blah. What do I know? Who else did I speak to? I kind of wrote them down because I usually don't have it all listed out. There was so today there was a big football game, and a lot of people were like talking about it, and they were mad about how like Texas lost. And they were asking me like, yeah, man, did you see like Texas lost, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, completely lost. Like I don't watch sports anymore. It's like a waste of time. And they looked at me like I was crazy. Like everyone watches football. I was picking up this one guy. He was like 27 years old. And he was telling me how old he is. Like he's old. I was like, dude, you're hella young, bro. You're 27. You're super young. He was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 22. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, what the? He was like, 22? You have 3 years to like fuck around. You have 3 years before you even think about getting your life together. I was like, I was looking at this guy. First of all, he's obviously been drinking. And then all of a sudden, he was telling me like, yeah, man, when I was younger, I used to think like these old heads, they just want to get married and like go water the plants in their backyard, like losers, right? That's what he was saying he used to think. And then now he's like, yeah, that's all I want to do. I have a girlfriend and I'm about to marry her. That's what he was saying. And he was like, all I want to do is just take care of my house and water my plants. He's like, yeah, you go through the phases, blah, blah. Then his girl calls him right after he says that. His girl calls him. She was like, yeah, make sure you're safe, you always let me down. Like, apparently he drinks and he goes crazy or something. But just found it interesting. She was like, "You're a grown up now. Like, you can't be doing this." I was dumbfounded by that. That's crazy. I don't really see the point in drinking, but again, people say that the people that don't drink are boring. Blah blah blah. I don't really care, honestly. I really don't. I care more about money, to be frank. But yeah, I basically worked on the accounting list. The accounting list was like it was kind of a fail today. I'm not gonna lie. Could have been a better day, but this list building stuff is so time consuming. Something else I could have spent my time on. I could have made like a list of names of mentors that I wanted to reach out to. That could have been a better use of my time. I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. I worked out today. It was like not the best workout. I was really tired when I was doing it. Not like physically tired, but I was like, I'm trying to go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock right now, 1 a.m. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna go to the club that I signed up for, which is like kind of like a country club, like rich people club thing. And man, I meet some interesting people there. I met some super interesting people there. It is 1,000% worth it to sign up for that. The QLA recommendation for it was like, it was genius. I'm not gonna lie. It's perfect for someone like me trying to get into like the private equity M&A space. It's that these clubs are filled with people like that. Yeah, so the guy, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. The guy with PepsiCo, he was telling me that PepsiCo bought Frito-Lay, which is like the chips company. They have like Ruffles, they have like Lay's, they bought all the chips brands and they put it under one portfolio, and then they sold that portfolio to PepsiCo. So PepsiCo grew its company through acquisitions. Like they bought like Celsius, they bought Gatorade, they bought Frito-Lay, and they have it all under the same company. And that's how they grow. Like these big companies grow through that. I met this other guy today. He was coming in from India and he works for a logistics company. And he was telling me how the company buys other companies all the time. And it didn't even sound like he understood how it worked. But he did say something that I constantly hear. He's like, it's easy to buy the company, but it's hard to integrate. And the number one primary reason integration doesn't work is because of cultural difference. Like if you have a company that's like strictly about like, get to the money, hustle, hustle, hustle. And then this company is more like, yeah, we're going to be very sensitive and, we're going to be nice and we're going to have and we're going to do like Zoom meetings and like sit on like bean bags at work. Like that kind of, like these two worlds could collide very negatively. So that's the main problem when you merge acquisitions, M&A. But yeah, Frito-Lay guy was telling me about M&A. The logistics guy was telling me about the M&A. A guy from yesterday, he also has a logistics company that he works for, and his company got acquired by a logistics company. Like all of it is M&A, like companies gobbling up smaller companies, blah, blah, blah. And it's just so obvious to me. It's almost like once you realize it, you see it everywhere. It's almost like when you're ready to buy a car, you constantly see that car. You know what I mean? It's interesting. Yeah. I was talking to that guy, the 27-year-old, who was telling me about what he does. Blah, blah. I'm not going to get into what he does, but something he mentioned was like taxes, man. Taxes is getting outrageous. And I told him this idea. I was like, man, America started because taxation without representation, yada, yada, yada. Boston Tea Party. And, the taxes back then was like 50%. Like when the revolution of America started, it was at like 50%. And they got pissed off and they started America. And America didn't have taxes for a long time. And now the taxes are right back to where they were. So I was like, man, we should do like a Boston Tea Party, like modern day. I'm not saying like kill people and stuff, but like imagine if you just had like a sophisticated Boston Tea Party where everyone gets together, drinking tea, talking about how bad taxes are and try to fix the idea of taxes. Like, yeah, another thing I spent my time on today was, the Israel-Palestine conflict today. When I found out about it, I was like, it took like an hour out of my day. Like, I was like consumed by it. I couldn't believe what was going on. Like, the videos I saw were insane. Like, that's the kind of stuff that could like really impact the world. Really impact the world. Like, that's like a big deal. Like the whole Ukraine thing going on. America's funding Ukraine. And then all of a sudden today, Biden, he gave like $8 billion to Israel to fight against Palestine. Like, America's going to fund here and fund there, and then they're worried about Taiwan. They're going to spread themselves too thin. Like, this is like bad. It could really affect the economy. So like, that's how I justify for myself for wasting my time, watching that kind of stuff. But I don't think it was a waste, honestly. I really don't think so. But yeah, I've been writing down everything I've been doing every day for the past 3 months, and I recommend that you guys do that as well. Reason B is because it builds discipline and focus. Like, people understand focus, but how do you explain focus on like an action standpoint? I don't want to get too preachy in this video, but like, if you write down what you do every day, you'd be surprised how little you get accomplished every day. You just want to develop the discipline of at least writing it down, right? And when you start writing it down, you realize, damn, like, I kind of suck. Let me fix myself. And then you start writing things down, and then you start like checking them off. And the next thing you know, you want to add more. Next thing you know, you add like, let me make my bed in the morning. So once you wake up, you check something off right away. So yeah, I've been making my bed every day. I kind of love it. I love making my bed every day because I come home and like, when you sit on your bed or you're about to sleep and it's like cold, like the cold sheets, that's the best feeling. It's like ready for you to like sleep. It's the best. I swear it's the best. But yeah, man, it's basically my day. I'm working on the accounting firms, and I need to make that list for mentors. I think that's like my most underrated idea so far. Trying to get one of these like billionaires as a mentor, that could really change your life for real. I've had instances where I try to make mentors in the past and it didn't work out. Like, sometimes there's bad people out there. I'm not going to go too deep into one of my previous mentors. He basically stole money from his investors and did all kind of crazy stuff. And yeah, but the thing about him, even though like he did bad things, this is the one thing about him that I really learned, is he knows how to utilize every single person that was working with him, like to the max capacity. Like, everyone that he saw in front of him, he like saw it as a tool, and he had to figure out how to use the tool for his benefit. He was really good at that. He was really good at delegating. Like, some people need to fit into like, be like a cog in the machine, They don't know how to like create the machine. Like, this guy like created the machine, and he put people in the machine and like kept it rolling, But raising money, like him stealing money from investors, like the skill of like getting money from investors is the highest leverage skill in the world. Like, these people that create 401ks, like Vanguard owns America. Highest leverage skill. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed.